All right. Hello. Happy Winning Wednesday. How we doing? All right. So today, I'm going to touch on a few things. We're going to talk about the full moon that just passed and the full moon hangover, of course, and why your body may actually just be asking for more integration, not more dismantling, not more fixing, not more breakthroughs, right? So, um, how we usually get started off. And before we dive in, I just want to take a quick breath together. So drop into your body. If you want to close your eyes, if it's safe to do so, you can do that. Or just kind of soften your gaze. And let's take a breath together. So in through your nose. Hold for just a second. And let it go through your mouth. And let's do one more because I just rushed up the stairs after doing laundry. So in through your nose. Hold it. And out through your mouth. Perfect. So, if you are feeling a little foggy today or a little tender or maybe a little bit more tired than usual, that's normal. uh, this, uh, I just want you to know right away that you are not imagining things, that there is nothing wrong with you. We just crossed through the strawberry full moon in Capricorn. So, what you're feeling right now does have a name. It's called a full moon hangover. So, today I want to talk about what it actually is, why it's happening, and most importantly, what your body and soul are generally asking of you right now, because I don't think it's, you know, what most of us have been trained to reach for. So I do not think that you need another breakthrough. I just think you need integration. And I want to spend real time with you today about what that means, because I think it's probably one of the most important conversations that we have had in a while. So, first, let's talk about what just happened, because it was significant. The full moon in Capricorn landed on June 29th, which was Monday. It's also a palindrome date, which, it reads the same way forward as it does to back. So 6/29/26, 6/29/26. So reading the same backward and forward in numerology and astrology, like palindrome dates are considered portal dates. And this is basically moments of perfect symmetry where the past and the future meet in the same place. And of course, this one also had a 9 at the center, which is a completion number. So cycles ending exactly the way that they were meant to end. Now, Capricorn energy, in and of itself, is very earthy and ambitious and deeply concerned with structure. And so, with the commitments we have made and the standards that we hold ourselves to, like uh, the balance between our emotional foundation and public life. So, a full moon in Capricorn is basically asking us to get honest with all of this. Like, where are we performing strength when we actually need to feel something? Where are structures that have been holding us up? Uh, which structures hold us up, and then which ones are actually kind of boxing us in? And what old cycle is finally reaching its conclusion? So, Strawberry Moon is a harvest moon. It was also the blue moon because it was the second full moon in a month. So historically, strawberry moons are marking the peak of the strawberry harvest. So it's the moment where everything that has been fully growing, that has been growing, fully ripens, and it's exactly the energy we just moved through. Like it's not beginning. This is like things are coming to fruition. They're completing. So it's a moment of receiving that's already being cultivated. So I think what that means energetically, like, this is not just a moon that's asking you to plant something new. It's a moon asking you to look at everything that's already ripe and everything you've already grown and already healed and already learned, and asking you whether you have actually let yourself receive it. For a lot of us, The answer is no, right? Like, not because we didn't want to, but because we've been so conditioned to keep moving and keep growing and keep chasing the next insight and, never actually stopping to receive the last one that we did. And that's exactly why so many of us are waking up today feeling a little bit depleted instead of expansive. So let's talk about the hangover itself, because I think understanding what is actually happening in your body makes a real difference in how you move through it. So a full moon is the point of it's the peak illumination in the lunar cycle. So everything that has been building throughout the month, it reaches its fullest expression. Emotionally, that means whatever's been sitting under the surface starts to come up. Whatever's been quietly building, it comes out. So it's not folklore. The hospitals know this as like, you don't want to work on a full moon because things get absolutely batshit crazy and people are a certain type of way. But, there is real research connecting lunar cycles to sleep patterns and hormonal shifts and emotional intensity. And something generally shifts in us during a full moon. I mean, hell, we're made of 80% water, and you see what it does to the ocean. So, what tends to happen for a lot of sensitive and aware and a lot of deep feeling people is that the full moon itself feels almost electric, alive, or like activating. And so you feel the intensity of it while it's happening. But then the full moon starts to wane, and what is left in its place is usually exhaustion or emotional rawness, or kind of like this foggy, tender, overwhelmed feeling that doesn't, it doesn't always have an obvious reason attached to it. So that's the hangover. And I feel like it does kind of get misunderstood constantly. So in spiritual spaces, we treat any low energy day as, a problem to fix. Like, we ask what's wrong. We wonder if we're doing something incorrectly. We ask for another practice or download or another breakthrough, and hoping that'll pull us out of the fog. Like, we're trying to raise our vibration, right? Like, I want to offer you something completely different. The fog is actually not malfunction. The fog is your processing time. It's there for a reason. And just think about what your body just did, right? It held space for a karmic reset. It processed the emotional release of old cycles completing. It sat through a moon that, was asking you to confront structures of your life honestly, like without performance, without the armor that you usually wear. Like, that's not nothing. So that is significant internal work, even if you didn't consciously do anything that looked like work. After significant internal work, the body needs recovery. We know that for working out, right? Like, just like a muscle needs rest after it has been worked, your nervous system needs integration time after it's been processing something big. And hangover is not you falling behind. The hangover is actually your body doing exactly what a body was supposed to do after a real transformation. It's metabolizing what just happened. So I want to talk about why so many of us skip this part. Why the instinct, especially in healing and awakening spaces, is almost always to reach for the next thing instead of resting in what just happened. And part of it, yeah, it's conditioning. Like, we live in a culture that rewards forward motion, more, better, faster. We do not have a lot of cultural permission to just simply stop and receive, to stop and rest. It looks unproductive, sorry. It looks unproductive. Like, you're wasting time, that you're being lazy, right? Integration doesn't look, sorry, I should have turned my notifications off. Integration doesn't look like anything on the outside. Let me do this real quick. But there's no visible marker of progress when you are integrating. Like, honestly. So the nervous system's always looking for validation and safety, and it starts to associate rest and stillness with falling behind or something bad, right? Like, it pushes you towards motion because motion feels safer. Like, you're always in motion, and it's actually not what you really need. Like, part of it is also specific to spiritual in healing communities because we have built an entire culture around the next activation, the next portal, the next breakthrough, like uh, you know, rewiring, all the things. So there is real value in all of that. Yeah, growth matters, but I think a lot of us have gotten so practiced at chasing the next big thing, the next insight, that we've not built the muscle of staying with the last one long enough to actually let it do something, to let it change us. So the distinction that I want to draw for you today, because I think it kind of changes everything. A breakthrough is an event. Like, integration is a process, and a breakthrough is the moment that, of course, the insight arrives, but integration is everything that happens afterwards. Like, this is like the unglamorous part, the work, the slow work that's actually rewiring your nervous system, your habits, your relationships, your daily choices around what you know, you now know to be true. But you have a you can have 1,000 breakthroughs, right? And still be living the exact same life if none of them actually integrated. If you didn't, allow it to settle in. The breakthrough gives you the information. Integration is what turns the information to actual a different way of being, to embodying it, to having it show up in your day-to-day life. So this is where the body comes in, because integration, it's not a mental process. It's a physical one. Your nervous system needs time to recalibrate. Like, new neural pathways have to form and strengthen through repetition. Old patterns have to be given enough time without reinforcement that they finally soften and release. Like, it takes time. It takes rest. It takes stillness. It can't be rushed by, force of will, or, no matter how much you want it to move faster. Like, the body's going to take the time that it needs. So when your body feels foggy and tired and tender, and this big cosmic moment that, like the one we just moved through, like, it's not your body failing to keep up, it's your body doing the actual work of integration, which is slower and quieter and far less exciting than the moment of the breakthrough itself. So this is the part that actually makes the breakthrough real and lasting. So let's talk about what this actually asks of you practically, because I don't want to just tell you to rest and leave it there. I want to give you something to actually work with. So integration requires you to slow down long enough to notice what has already changed in you. Like, not what you're hoping will change next, but what has already shifted. My cat's behind my curtain. But, take honest inventory here, right? Over the last several months, what have you actually learned? What insight, once you received it, generally changed how you show up? What have you already grown that you've not given yourself credit for because you were too busy looking for the next thing? Like, integration requires rest. That doesn't have to be earned. Like, not as a reward that after you've proven yourself that you deserve it. Rest as biological necessity, the same way sleep is a biological necessity. Your nervous system needs downtime to consolidate what's been processed, the same way your brain needs sleep to consolidate memory. If you do not give it that downtime, the processing does not stop. It gets slower, messier, and it exhausts you more. So integration, it requires that you resist the urge to immediately reach for the next thing, the next program, next activation, next breakthrough, right? When what your body is actually signaling is it needs time with what it already has, with what it's already been through, with what it's learned. And I promise you, the growth you are looking for the next thing is often waiting on the other side of fully receiving the last thing. So integration in and of itself, it requires self-compassion for the fog itself, not judgment, not the story that something's wrong with you, not because you're tired or foggy or emotionally tender right now. It's just simple, honest acknowledgement that you just moved through something real and your body's doing exactly what it's supposed to do in response to that thing. So I want to offer you a moment now to actually practice this instead of just hearing it. So wherever you are, just go ground into your body. Like, let your body settle. Sit back in your chair. If it's safe to do so, close your eyes. I want you to feel your feet. Feel the surface underneath you. Take a slow breath in and let it out slower than it came in. And I want you to ask your body, not your mind, but your body, one simple question. What have I already received that I have not let myself feel yet? And try not to rush to answer with your thinking mind. Just let the question sit. Let whatever wants to surface. Maybe it's a memory or a feeling or a sense of something that already shifted in you that maybe you haven't fully acknowledged yet. Whatever comes up, just let it be there. So you don't have to do anything with it right now. You don't have to turn it into an action item or a new goal. Just let yourself feel that you have already grown, that the harvest is already here, that you do not need another portal to open in order for your life to be different. You just need to receive what has already been given. So take one more breath. Maybe let it out this time with a sigh. And come back. So, again, we just crossed through a significant moon. Karmic reset, harvest, palindrome portal, what your body's asking for on the other side is not more. It just wants you to integrate all the things that you've already done, right? Like, so if you're feeling foggy or tired or tender, or a little raw, like, I want you, just let that be okay, right? It's not you falling behind. It's actually you doing the work. The invisible, unglamorous, absolutely essential work of becoming someone new on the inside before it needs to show up on the outside. So I don't want you to chase the next breakthrough today. You are allowed to receive what you already have, and that is enough. And that is actually everything. So thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys again next week where we'll have our open coaching call. And I hope you have an amazing week. Bye now.